Okay, now the last group I'm going to do are the basses. I don't get many of you, unfortunately. I wish I had more of you, but this will certainly take care of it. Maybe next time we'll start with you guys and go from there. So bass, what you're going to have to do is do a shift. In other words, move your hand between two positions in each of these. Because you just have so much territory to cover, you can't possibly do it from one hand position. You can't stretch that much. It's better for your fingers to move. So we're going to start with the E string, which is sort of the closest one to you in this case. And the pattern that we want to do is it's going to start in a half position. So you're going to kind of move your hand up a little bit. And you're going to go open, so that's E. 1, that's an F natural, because since we moved it up, that's a half step. And then 4, which is your G. There's a whole step there because we're skipping these two fingers in between. You'll almost always skip the third finger. In fact, in first position, you hardly ever use it. It's like not even there. You know, it's just that's not. By the way, that's not a bass gang sign. Just so I wanted to be clear about that. So E, F, G, and then we're going to approximate below that. We'll talk about exactly how to get it where we need to get it later. But then up here, we're going to do A, B. So 1 and 4 again. Now the good news is all of the shifts that we're doing will always end up with 1, 4. What we do down here might be in down, even though it's up, in the lower position. It could be 1, 4, it could be 1, 2. Okay, that's the thing that's going to change. In this case, we're also, on the E string, we're starting in that half position. That's different as well. So E, F, G, A, B. Okay, E, F, G, A, B, 1, 4. Okay, we come over to the A string, and this is a case where we're going to be in first position, not half. So we're going to start a little bit lower on the neck, which makes a higher sound. So here's A, B, and C is a half step between B and C, right? So we use our second finger. Now, because it's bass, we got to kind of move it down a little bit. Okay, so here's A, B, C, and then we're going to do the shift D, E. Okay, again, we're just finishing with 1, 4 down there. So A, B, C, D, E. Okay, on the D string, D is the same pattern. D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so the two middle strings have the same patterns of open 1, 2, 1, 4, open 1, 2, 1, 4. But again, do this with the letters, not so much with the numbers, because we want to learn where those letters are, because the numbers are much less absolute when we're actually reading music. In other words, the numbers don't mean as much when we're reading music. You got to know where the note names are. Okay, so moving on to the G string. We have open 1, 4 this time, okay, because there's a whole step between these two. So G, A, B, and then C, D, still 1, 4. Okay, again, we talked about half steps being between B and C, so therefore technically when you're shifting, it's a smaller shift. But we're not worrying about that for right now. We're worrying about what's happening within the fingers. So let me show you each of those 4 strings one more time. E string is half position. E, F, G, A, B. A string is not in half position, it's in first position. So A, B, C, second finger. D, E, there it is. D string, D, E, F, G, A, and then G string, G, A, B, C, D. Okay? I'm going to put up some exercises for you to do. You can do them going up, coming back down. I recommend trying, with fourth finger, it's kind of hard, it's a weak finger. We do want to try to, however, build some muscle in that. So you can do it, when you're putting fourth finger, you can do it with all 4 down. That certainly helps. But you also want to be able to learn how to move your hand to, going between 1 and 4 to do kind of that rocking action, because you never know where the other fingers have to go next. So it builds what we call facility, meaning how fast you can go between notes. That's true on any stringed instrument. So let me just show you this what we call the broken thirds. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So like you're skipping over a note, then you go back to it, and then you skip over the next note, and then you go back to it. it's like going, instead of going A, B, C, D, E alphabetically, A, C, B, D, C, E, D, F, E, G. You're going ahead two letters and then back one. Then from there, going ahead 2 letters and coming back 1. And it'll be easier once you see it. And I'm now putting it on the screen. There it is. Okay. So in this case, it means your hand's going to be going back and forth over your fingerboard quite a lot on the bass. I'm going to use the G string as an example. I mean, I'm not going to do it in all 4, but I'll use this as an example. So from G, I skip the A and go to the B. Then I go back to the A. Then I skip the B and I go to the C. Then I go back to the B and I skip the C and go to the D. Okay? So G, B, A, C, B, D. Okay? And then I come back from there. D, B, C, A, B, G. Okay? Let me show you one more time. Of course, you can always rewind this to see it. But G, B, A, C, B, D. And then from the D, B, C, A, B, G. It's a little confusing, but you do it nice and slowly. You can build in your note name knowledge and roughly where they are on the fingerboard, the real one and your fleshy one. The last exercise you're also going to see is called the Cascade, where, I mean, up until this point, well, the original exercise, I should say, you're sort of going up and coming back down. This one, you go from nothing straight to the top. So from G, B, C, B, A. And the reason for this is it takes out, it's easy going alphabetically forward, it's harder going alphabetically backward. So we take out that first little bit to sort of test you on that. Okay? These are things to practice, and wish you good luck, and I'm going to try to have another video for everybody next week. Bye-bye.